नमस्कार, आईपी प्रेजेंट्स लेट्स टॉक फोटोग्राफी विद राजेश गोयल में आपका स्वागत है। एक बार फिर आज हमारे साथ हमारे स्टूडेंट IIPian आनंदित गौड़ा कर्नाटका से हैं और कल्चरल कनेक्ट उनका बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग है। आर्ट, एस्थेटिक्स, राइटिंग बुक्स उनका पैशन है। हमारे साथ आज आनंदित बहुत सारे सब्जेक्ट्स के ऊपर हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं, जिसमें सबसे पहले वेलकम आनंदित, कैसे हैं आप?
Yes, namaste to the viewers. Namaste sir. I'm doing good. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So Anindith, you're from Karnataka.
Yes sir.
So tell us something about which part of Karnataka you are from, how your family system is there, and about some culture, something about that.
Yes sir. So once again, thank you for having me. And the answer to which part of Karnataka I am from is this very special, very exclusive rather, and a very beautiful place, a very beautifully culturally more than strong, that words fail to truly grab the essence. It is this region called Tulunadu.
Tulunadu, okay.
Once again I reiterate, Tulunadu. The language is Tulu, the people are called Tuluvas, and the land, the soil is called Tulunadu. So Tulunadu, when we say Tulunadu, it is basically this geographical, this cultural territory or area which includes these parts of Udupi. Udupi is quite famous.
Udupi, yes.
Udupi, veg restaurants largely, so people know.
Yeah.
Again, there's a Mahabharat connect to that. Okay. And this very famous port town, again historic town of Mangaluru, and that whole district which is called Dakshina Kannada, and then this part of Kerala, the northern part of Kerala called Kasaragod. So these three areas, they are collectively called Tulunadu,
okay.
Where this largely after this Kantara movie came to the public, rather that's how I would like to put it across. People got a glimpse of what our culture is. Again, there are lots of talks on that, but largely people got to know about okay, such and such a place, and there's this very vibrant culture. And then again, there's this form of theatre which is very exclusively called Yakshagana. Then Daiva Radhane, it's more than calling it an art form would be a very wrong notion as such, because it's a part of our prayer, our everyday prayer, and it's been going on continuously since as long as one can recall. If you go through foreign accounts, European travelogues, you get to see the references of that. And then again, famous dynasties like Vijayanagara Empire and others, again you get to see the glimpses of that. So basically this region of Tulunadu, even today if you visit some corners, some pockets, some of those ancient households, it's as if, many times I myself have felt that, it's as if these cities are going in one direction where you have modernity, you have technology, you have so many things. But once you reach there, it's as if time is frozen. If we talk about photography, it's all about capturing a moment. But when you visit these places, pollution word is non-existent, and the greenery is all around. And you visit those homes, once you enter the courtyard itself, you get that vibe of you're taken back in time. And especially during those special timings, I would say between the month, we have this thing called Sankramana, this particular date, very auspicious date when the traditional temple, the Daiva sthanas, what we call, doors are open, or during any special festive events. The feeling is as if you've traveled back in time. That's a very beautiful feeling which words will not do justice to explain that.
I have seen that photograph you have shown us about your original home, native place. That was amazing.
It has been the same for even much before my birth, as long as one can remember.
Yeah. So, and what kind of family? You know, is it joint family kind of?
It was largely before, or to put it across, even though today, see, because of career, higher education, it's largely nuclear families these days, but the traditional system of Tulunadu is such that when you have this Daiva Radhane, out of sheer respect, when we say Daiva Radhane, we bow down with utmost respect, because that's one cultural element which has been going on and on for many centuries. It predates a lot of things. It is as if when the Daiva, the very rough translation of the word to English would be oracle. Oracle as in the person is possessed by the deity and the deity is speaking through him. So the very rough, I wouldn't say the exact translation would be oracle. So when the oracle is saying something, where this respect comes is not just because it's a god or not for the sake of respect, but you know for a fact that that deity, I'm not even talking about the human or the oracle, that deity has been seeing not just you, it will see your next generations altogether, and it has seen the very beginning, the first person whom we call Guru Karnaru in our language. It has seen the very first ancestor of your line. So it has, see, calling it history would do wrong to it. It is basically continuing history. So you are just a speck of dust. You're just tiny nothing in front of it, and it has seen everything, and it knows, and our belief generally is it transcends beyond time. So it has seen the future as well. That is why, and that is where the depth word oracle or Daiva comes into picture. See, some cinema or some short glimpse of Daiva Radhane might only show you a part of it which is not in 0.00001%, but the depth behind that worship, it transcends a lot of understanding, of which you need some time and being involved in that, seeing that. And why I went to this depth to answer your question is, no matter in Tulunadu which family you are from, which community you are from, or which part of Tulunadu you are from, this in this era of, see, now you have what AI, you have, see, we are talking about chips being linked to the brain, we are talking about technology which used to sound like a joke just 2-3 years before COVID, but now things are a reality. Why I am highlighting this is, this foundation of Daiva Radhane is what is keeping this not concept, this feeling of family alive in Tulunadu. When the Daiva Radhane happens, be it yearly or be it in such and such a period, 3 years, 5 years, or when it happens, everyone, no matter where he is, where he is out of India, he is some part of India, he is there, he is what he is doing, nothing on that day, we call it the Kala. Daiva, the Kala means how you have in these royal systems, that court of the Raja, if we say. So it is basically court of the Daiva. Daiva Radhane was, if you read some British accounts, you get to read that Daiva Radhane was the judicial system of Tulunadu, and this is not me saying, these are there in British official records. Documented. Even to this day it is pretty much the same. So it is the foundation of Daiva Radhane which has kept that feeling of family and that bringing together everyone alive. So it is largely a joint family, no doubt, but due to modern conveniences and things like that, it is largely been nuclearized per se.
आनंदित से बात करते हुए हम उनके चेहरे को, उनके हाव भाव को देख रहे हैं, उसमें समझ में आता है वो कल्चरली कितना कनेक्टेड हैं अपने स्टेट से, उस रीजन से. विजय नगरा जो एम्पायर था, द डायनेस्टी, इट वाज सो रिच,
more than rich, of course. See, as an author, as a researcher, when an author or a researcher says something, it can't be just hearsay. It has to be backed by facts, some record, some sort of a record basically. So coming to the Vijayanagara dynasty, the Vijayanagara empire per se, the right word, I must agree. There are references which says 23% of the world GDP. We are talking back in 1500s, 1600s. They used to control it. They had that. But what I am looking at, because today, see in 2023-4, the Vijayanagara Empire is not there.
Yes.
There are some artifacts, there are some sculptures and artwork, those are there, the memories are there, records are there, pretty much, not just in India, throughout the world. But looking at that, and even our Tulunadu, the Daiva Radhane, what I was emphasizing on largely, or other aspects of Tulunadu, Vijayanagara Empire was and still is culturally rich and relevant. That's the highlight factor.
हम लोग जब अपने बचपन में थे तब हम उस समय की जो स्टोरीज अमर चित्र कथाओं में पढ़ते थे, इलस्ट्रेशन बुक्स, यू नो, इलस्ट्रेशंस, दे वर क्वाइट वेरी decently designed illustrations, and through the comments, you know, and it was shown that how that empire was, what was the how they used to decide the laws, you know, verdicts. So it was very good. It was highly, you know, what do you call, ethically, culturally, and the high level of maybe what do you call that, you know, I can't say rich, but it was
depth, the depth.
Yeah. So now, because you are from Karnataka, and I am seeing that you have very good mustaches. अनिंदित की जो मूछें रखने का जो स्टाइल है एक स्पेशल है, आजकल रेयरली वो दिखाई देता है अगर हम यूथ की बात करें तब। एक बार समझते हैं इसके पीछे का राज क्या है, व्हाट इज द फैक्ट बिहाइंड, व्हाट इज द पर्पस बिहाइंड?
More than style, of course. More than I'm getting a good smile, good question, and lots of times I've had to encounter this. Again, there's a historical connect behind the moustache.
Okay.
In fact, the first time this moustache started growing, see this the COVID time, roughly post-COVID 21 around or 2020 end. The first time this moustache started growing, so it was not like I designed it or even something of that sort. The first thing I was told back at home was, ನಿನಗಿದು ಹೊಸತ್ತಿರಬಹುದು ಆದರೆ ಮನೆಗಿದು ಹೊಸತ್ತಲ್ಲ. What I said in Kannada is, it might be new for you, but it's not the first or the new one for the house.
Okay.
So, okay, that was you know, like quite, for anyone it will be quite a sudden statement to, you know, just digest it. So then I got to see that in a larger family, in the larger family, my the grandparents' generation and the great grandparents' generation. I'm again talking with records as a researcher. My ancestors too, not many generations back. I'm talking 3 and 4 generations back. There was this moustache. I saw it on photo. All my elders, my parents, the town and everyone, you know, they used to be like, there's this person, I mean my grandfather's cousin. His name is Amara Gowda. He was quite socially active, and he was in the army, by the way. Okay. He was an ex-veteran, if we can use the right term, and he was largely involved with social life back home once he came back from service, and he was with the banking and other sorts of social things. And he was, and he passed away many years before my birth. So he was famous for the moustache, it seems. So I got people all had seen him, they knew him, so they would be like, you know, they would see me and they would instantly tell that, and then, you know, we would get that connect that okay, it's the same blood where, you know, you have the thing again coming.
इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि आप जनरेशन से ये जो एक फैमिली का प्राइड है, he is keeping that. Anindith, because we have, you know, kept a lot of you know, handicraft kind of situation here, products. So this is what? This is bamboo, or this is what?
Sir, this in our language we call bamboo bidr.
Okay.
Bidr. So from bidr we make a lot of more than artifacts. These are very productive
tools,
very productive tools and very durable. Bamboo is quite durable. So these you get to see these elements largely in those traditional houses where things have survived pretty much to date. And if I happen to talk with my parents' generations or with your generation, they recall or they remember those days when these were the kind of tools or those what to say, those
we
baskets.
Can keep, baskets, yeah. We can keep things.
Anything. Your day-to-day things, or if you want to keep something special in that.
These are organic actually.
These are more than using directly the word organic. These are very much eco-friendly in the right sense, because today plastic has overtaken anything and everything.
Yeah.
But this, if you talk about composting or if you talk about the environment, it is like you get from the nature, you can give back to it if the need is not there.
So, okay. क्योंकि हम लोग देखते हैं आजकल भारतीय संस्कृति, संस्कार, कल्चर, हैंडीक्राफ्ट, आर्टिजन्स लोग जो भी चीज़ें डेवलप कर रहे हैं हम लोग प्रेफर भी कर रहे हैं उसको लेने में. फैशन में है, होटल्स में अगर आप जाएंगे इस तरह के ट्रेज, इस तरह के बास्केट्स हमें अक्सर देखने को मिलते हैं और हमें प्रमोट भी करना चाहिए. वी शुड प्रमोट दिस, है ना, बिकॉज दीज आर हैंडीक्राफ्ट. पीपल आर लिविंग देयर लाइवलीहुड is through this only.
So adding to that, I have one social grievance, which it's largely my observation too. Like you pointed out this factor of how these are there in hotels, and it is a norm of the day. We can't do pretty much anything. And even in my stint during visiting museums or visiting places and seeing a part of not history, seeing a part of our culture which is there behind a very beautiful glass, nice lighting, velvet polished whatever clothing, and you have the thing there. See, what has happened is this disconnect. Only when we see it there, we are like, oh nice, great, wow. But when it is there in the house, it's in a very dilapidated condition and not pretty much is happening. So somewhere the efforts must start from, it's easy to say, I know, because we are in an era where almost everyone are moving out in search of better opportunities and stuff.
In this part of the country, we are seeing that revival is going on,
very much need of that, sir.
Yeah, because people have moved out from making their own whatever cultural and generation to generation business that was handicraft, handloom, jacquards and all that kind of looms. They have moved out from those because of not getting support from anywhere. They were not able to sell their products, whatever they were making, be it handloom or sari or maybe pottery, furniture. We are using this furniture, and this is made in Jodhpur, and artisans and craft people, these carpenters are making these from a special wood which is shisham. And this was the traditional furniture. The life of this table or the chairs is 100 years. So we are buying these products. One is that these are looking fantastic, fashion.
Definitely.
Latest, yet it is, from our culture, but still this is having a good photographic, this thing. So you will see every furniture in IIP, it is from our own artisans. It is not from imported from China or somewhere like that. One. Number two is government is also promoting these people to start their own things now. They are funding, they are providing them machines, tools, etc., etc. So we are in this part of India. I know that it is going on. So maybe in due course of time it will revive there also. So now I am keeping this book here. This is Anindith Gowda Kochi Barke, Recalling Amara Sulya, well researched, properly documented, approved and encouraged by the governments. So tell us something about this book, Anindith. Yeah.
Before getting directly into the topic, this book for me, more than writing.
This is the book.
Regarding this book, before getting into the artwork or art as in writing and all those things, for me, in one sentence, this book or this work was a necessity. And why a necessity is the title, Recalling Amara Sulya. This book is about this historic incident of 1837, which is precisely 20 years prior to Mangal Pandey's uprising against the British. So we are talking 1837. So
the 1857 mutiny?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So let's
Mangal
not
Pandey,
let's not call it a mutiny. Let's call it a movement.
Movement. Okay.
So
we have heard about this as mutiny. So what history, we have to correct the history also.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
It's a movement that we take pride in. For the British, in fact, coming to the word mutiny, see, now we call it the Amara Sulya freedom movement of 1837.
Okay.
From Tulunadu region, if you ask me where I am from this place called Sullia.
Okay.
So coming to this, see, this Amara Sulya freedom movement, the British, in fact, in the charge sheet, which is exactly 101st page number in this book, see, in that charge sheet, if you observe, the British have called it treason, which, if I have to tell in common language, it is like Deshdroh jo hum bolte hain.
Deshdroh, yes.
When you are fighting to safeguard the soil, that to being sons of the soil, how is it Deshdroh ka kaam? It took 185 years for this charge sheet to come out to the public domain in the form of this book. And not just
this one, no?
Yes, yes.
So it is here, chapter 3, court martial.
Chapter 3 of part B of the book. There are two parts. Yeah. Part B, this is a original charge sheet, so that my only intention is, see, when I started this work, I didn't expect to find records or some document, because we are talking 185-86 years
back.
So nearly 200 years, let's say, roughly. See, we are in such a era where if we want to find some paper that is 5 years old or 10 years old, it is highly likely we find it, or it's gone to time. We are talking nearly 200 years, 185, 186 years. So I didn't expect or hope to find the records or papers, to be precise. But when my hand stumbled upon this, I cried looking at it. As in, see, we have been told history, we have been told so many things, and look at it. This is our reality. This is the thing nobody told us. And more than that treason case, see, the British had also banned this topic. Not many people know. Now we know about the great Subhash Chandra Bose ji, or so many others who, see, they all fought for freedom in different ways. Let's not discuss on that. But much of it has been lost from different parts of the country. And with this thing, right, the British had actually banned it during October 1837, so that nobody can even think of it. In fact, I was so shocked. I was reading one of the letters by one of the British officers, which again I've quoted in the book, that even the wisest, I'm quoting as much as I can remember, even the wisest politician cannot pronounce how long India will be silent, and if ignorance is bliss, we shall believe this is the best. This was what was written. These are the wordings that was written in 1837, not something being spoken in English now. So that fear was there back then, because in this movement you get to see people like the great Kedambadi Ramaya Gowda ji, who is as of now known as the Sanghatan Chatur behind the incident, and he apparently gathered people in the disguise of his son's wedding and trained them with arms and took them to Mangaluru and fought with the British, and rest is history. They captured Mangaluru for 13 days and then the British came, indiscriminate firing, and you have people like him. Then you have another fellow about whom unfortunately not much is being spoken in public, called Muttanna Gowda, who in fact I once again I cried just going through the kind of personality that Muttanna Gowda was. Today nobody knows from which household or from which corner Muttanna Gowda is a part of. Right. Why I am sharing this is, see, a part of Indian independence movement where you have a man, Muttanna Gowda, you drag him to the military court like an animal, and he has no business to do with the British military. See, when does a court martial happen? Generally, when you are a soldier or when you do something wrong, or that's it. Here you are dragging an Indian citizen who is against the British. You are dragging him to the military court. And even in the Subhash Chandra Bose case, just not drawing a parallel or not comparing. So even there, the INA trials happened. We all know it. In this, unfortunately, nobody knows, or it was just buried by the British East India Company. Muthanda Gowda was dragged to the military courts. 4 special judges were placed there, and in front of him you tell him that you are a Deshdrohi, you are doing treason, and anybody else would have collapsed. But then this person tells there was a man called Kedambadi Ramaya Gowda, and he said, and it is quoted in English, which again I was shocked by the British, if a dog were to be found in the palace of the Rajas, the dog would do to raise or command a force and stand against the government. Government means the British government. And you say this when there are 4 British judges in a military court and they are telling you are doing some Deshdroha kam. This is the spirit of Indian independence movement, and this is the story from the place that I come from, the culture that I represent. I'm just an ambassador for my culture. I'm just a storyteller, and I'm just seeing and I'm sharing. I'm not the hero there. The heroes in my story or in the kind of storytelling I do are what I see. This is the kind. There are much more instances of extremities
just
happening.
1 or 2 stories here, but हमारा जो कल्चर है, जो हमारा इतिहास है, वो सब तो लगभग छुपा के ही रखा गया है. Yesterday I was looking at the Twitter account of Honorable Prime Minister. They have started a hashtag which is Viksit Bharat Ambassador. So Viksit Bharat Ambassador is kind of whatever perception or the mission he has kept for 2047 as developed nation, So I was just asking students and my panelists and the friends who are coming here for podcasting, that how do you see this? Whatever we have done and what yet to be completed or done, to be done. So they were saying that everybody has a responsibility. India is a different country. India is not like America or maybe some other country, European or Western world. We have our own culture, bhavana, we have our own kind of thought process. We are not Western kind of, we are yoga, we do yoga, and they are into bhog, materialistic life.
Yes.
So what kind of perception you think India should have, Bharat should have in 2047? Keeping all this in mind, that we are going to revive every ignored or suppressed or forgotten things like these. And this is a wonderful work you have done.
Thank you, sir.
What we are expecting from you is now that documentation is your subject, right? From this book to the learning you are doing here at IIP. So it is our collective responsibility to rethink, we have to go and research many things from Karnataka, because that's your hometown and you are comfortable there, and from our other students also, that they should also go back to their towns, do their research, they are doing it, and make books like this. Could be coffee table books, these could be exhibitions, through exhibitions or digital presentations, or maybe some kind of travelogues or vlogs or whatever. And whatever culture that we have, जो भी हमारा भारतीय कल्चर है, हर जगह ये स्टोरीज हैं.
Definitely, definitely.
It is not just Karnataka.
Definitely.
Everywhere. आप बंगाल में जाएंगे तब भी, अगर आप उड़ीसा जाएंगे तब भी, झारखंड, मध्य प्रदेश जाएंगे तब भी, राजस्थान भरा पड़ा है, क्योंकि ये जो एट्रोसिटीज़ हैं, ये जो काइंड ऑफ जो भी हुआ है वो सबके साथ हुआ है, वो पूरे भारत के साथ हुआ है. सो नाउ इट इज़ आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू डॉक्यूमेंट. एंड इस बुक को तो गवर्नमेंट ने भी अप्रिशिएट किया है. आनंदित, इसमें गवर्नमेंट का मैं ये देख रहा हूँ कि आपने आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव भी इसमें डाला है. एंड व्हाट इज दिस? गवर्नमेंट ऑफ कर्नाटका. दे हैव प्रिंटेड दिस.
Yes.
Amazing. See, Government of Karnataka has done this book and they have printed it. So the book is printed by Government of Karnataka, आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव G20 के टाइम का ये काम है. कर्नाटका टुलू साहित्य एकेडमी ने इसको पब्लिश किया है. अमेजिंग Anindith, I'm proud that young ones like you, and this should be the future of Bharat. So now responsibility, you have to take these kind of responsibilities, and every student, that okay, we are here, we are free people, freedom is there,
Yes,
but it comes with responsibility.
Definitely.
So we have a great culture everywhere, so we have to work on that. Okay, whatever support system you need, we will be providing. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
so now how would you like to conclude? See, this book has made you for the further studies also.
Yes.
Tell me something about that.
On my concluding note,
Yeah.
see, Amara Sulya has brought me to Delhi. That's how the message has been going around, and that's very much true.
Yeah.
Point number one. And there's this message which, whenever I get an opportunity, platforms, medium, which I always like to put across. See, rightly as Sir said, stories are everywhere, and that too in India, more so than the hidden treasures. The stories themselves are
These are
the
treasures.
hidden treasures.
Hidden, yeah. Yes.
So not just from academic point of view, as in some sort of a research or thesis or some project or task, nothing of that sort. See, for me, why or how this book happened to be a book was out of sheer necessity. See, now we see this not just in India but everywhere, that all are moving out from their route and opportunities and things, and in that process, whatever little is remaining in those ancestral places where that ancestral whatever is there, it's also passing or slipping into oblivion, if we say that. It wouldn't be wrong, as in it is there, but it's being slowly forgotten. So the least, as an educated person, not as some graduate, or I'm not even talking about that today, see, most of us know how to read, write, and smartphone literacy, we know how to operate. So need not necessarily be writing, it could be any medium. See, just a very simple thing, whatever little is there in front of you, just make sure that you document it, because you wait for day after tomorrow, day after that, even that little might not be in front of you for any reason. It could be any reason. So the least I could do was document it, so that at least, see, we are talking of this incident 185 years gap again. So I'm pretty sure much has been lost.
Yes.
See, it was, I was fortunate enough, the charge sheet was available, some of the ancestral houses are housed, also the weapons are there, and we are talking of an incident जहाँ पे इनका अंतिम संस्कार तो हुआ नहीं. They went to India, freedom, they went for that. Foreigners should leave our soil and go, they should not oppress our people. But they never came back. They have come back in the form of a book or in form of statue or things like that, but they never came back. So we need to remember that, and see, more often than not, we tend to see around that the word freedom is often taken for free. Only the free part of it is taken, not this entire depth behind what has gone into it. So the least we could do, not just academically, but I'm saying on a general note, to people of all age groups and to everyone basically. See, in India, that too, stories are everywhere. Who knows from where, what the next story could be. In fact,
Yes.
even during writing and even now, this is what I feel like. After going through this, see, what we used to hear about Amara Sulya back in our house, what my grandmother used to recall, or the weapon, or since I'm from that area, and that history is very much a part of my day-to-day life. When I go back to my ancestral house, it's like I'm living that story, I'm living that movie. I feel like that. It's more like a continuing movie.
Right.
I feel like that. So I always wonder, like, who knows where, what, how the next story could be. You never know. That's the curiosity that I'm always in.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
I'm really looking forward to, like, when I say next stories, I mean, you never know.
Yes.
Let's keep it at that suspense.
आनंदित से बात करके आज बहुत खुशी है. आज का यूथ कैसे अपने रूट्स को वापस खंगाल रहा है, देख रहा है. रिसर्च के माध्यम से बहुत ही सुंदर, बहुत ही बेहतरीन डॉक्यूमेंटेशन रिकॉलिंग अमारा सुलिया विच इज़ बलिदान ऑफ ब्रेव तुलुवास फॉर इंडियाज फ्रीडम। बलिदान ऑफ ब्रेव तुलुवास फॉर इंडियाज फ्रीडम, ये बुक इन्होंने लिखी, डॉक्यूमेंट की, वेल रिसर्च्ड, गवर्नमेंट के सपोर्ट से। इस तरह से बहुत कुछ करना अभी बाकी है। मेरा आह्वान है आज के यूथ, हमारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, इनफैक्ट जो हमारे स्टूडेंट नहीं भी हैं उनसे भी, अगर आप अपने प्रदेश का, अपने रीजन का कुछ ऐसा कल्चरल कनेक्ट ढूंढ पाते हैं, स्टोरीज आपके बुजुर्गों ने, आपके पेरेंट्स ने आपको बताई हों और जो हिडन रही हों, उनको हम डॉक्यूमेंट करें, उसके लिए आईआईपी का सपोर्ट आपके साथ में है। आईआईपी प्रेजेंट्स लेट्स टॉक फोटोग्राफी के माध्यम से जो पॉडकास्टिंग हम कर रहे हैं, इसको बहुत बेहतरीन रिस्पांस आप लोग दे रहे हैं, उसके लिए हमारा धन्यवाद। थैंक यू सो मच। हमारे चैनल से जुड़ने के लिए आप उसको सब्सक्राइब करें, बेल आइकॉन को भी प्रेस करें। आपके जो भी क्वेरीज हैं वो कमेंट बॉक्स में लिखें, हम लोग उसको जवाब जरूर देंगे, क्योंकि हम लोग चाहते हैं एक स्ट्रॉन्ग कनेक्ट बने, हम लोग डिस्कशंस करें और एक बेहतर प्रोडक्ट बनकर सामने आए, जो आने वाले समय के लिए, आने वाली जनरेशन्स के लिए एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म हो, खासकर फोटोग्राफी के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में। फोटोग्राफी में बहुत काम नहीं हुआ था, इसीलिए हमें ऐसा लगा कि ये जो जवाब हमें देने पड़ते हैं, फोटोग्राफी में क्या होता है, फोटोग्राफी से क्या पॉसिबिलिटीज़ हैं, वहाँ कल्चर है क्या, वहाँ पर कोई प्रोफेशनल लाइफ है क्या, वहाँ पर क्या हो सकता है, क्योंकि फोटोग्राफर्स अक्सर बैक एंड में रहते हैं, इसी वजह से ये पेरेंट्स तक बात पहुँच नहीं पाती है। और हम लोग सामने जब देखते हैं वो मॉडल्स को देखते हैं, हम हीरोज़ को देखते हैं, उन बड़े ब्रिलियंट प्रोफाइल्स को देखते हैं, या तस्वीरों के पीछे कोई फोटोग्राफर है, ये हम सोच नहीं पाते हैं। इसीलिए लेट्स टॉक फोटोग्राफी का हमने शुरुआत किया। आनंदित को बहुत बधाई। आनंदित, आपने एक अद्भुत कार्य किया है आने वाली जनरेशन्स के लिए भी, और एक डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, ये बुक्स ही हैं जिनको आने वाले स्टूडेंट्स लाइब्रेरी में पढ़ेंगे। आपने ये बुक हमें गिफ्ट की है और हम इस बुक को अपनी आईआईपी की लाइब्रेरी में रखेंगे और कोशिश करेंगे कि हमारे स्टूडेंट्स और मोटिवेट हों, इंस्पायर हों और इस तरह के प्रोजेक्ट करें। आज के लिए इतना ही, फिर मिलते हैं जल्द। थैंक यू सो मच।